Hi guys, welcome to Ravzone.com. This is Mohit Soni, and right in front of you is Tata's much awaited Punch. This is the SUV that is supposed to take on the Maruti Suzuki Ignis and the Mahindra KUV 100. It's been in the making for a really long time due to the pandemic and other reasons. And of course, it started its life way back in 2019, 2020, where it was shown at the Auto Expo as the HBX. And then directly after that, Tata just came out of nowhere and said, we're calling it the Punch. This is going to sit below the Nexon, and it's going to be a micro Harrier and all of that. And it's turned out to be true because in terms of design, as you can see, it does look. It's got its own appeal. It's got its own design, but the presence and the way the styling has been done and the way the road presence of this car has turned out to be is of a smaller Harrier or a smaller Nexon. These two products have been doing extremely well for Tata, and there was no reason why not to cash into the segment where it could do even better. The SUV range is doing really well for Tata, and that's why they decided to go for this. And with the design being so good, this is the first step that Tata's achieved really well. As you can see, it's got a good tall stance, it's got a boxy design. At the same time, it's got something really good going for it. It's a clean design. At the same time, it looks very good. It's got a lot of elements that stand out. You've got the LED DRL just like the Tata Harrier. The way the fog lamps and the headlight has been done here. It's a dual setup, so that is also great. That lends it the premiumness. The LED DRLs, I am not a fan how they've been done because it looks just one line. It could have been much more detailed. You've got the grille here, and surprisingly Tata's given a space just for the horn. I think it could not be fitted somewhere below, so I don't know whether that's cool or nice or not good. It's up to you to decide. I really can't get over that aspect. Overall, a very nice Boch front end. It's got that clean line. It's got a straight face, so that makes parking SUVs much more easier. And this also SUV falls in that category, be it a micro SUV, but it does that. The alloy wheels look really nice. They are just a whisker away from the production version, and I think they look fantastic. These 16-inch wheels maybe, and according to me, are an overkill in terms of size, but I think you should go for the 15 if you can spec it that way. And if I were also had the option, I would have also gone for the 15-inch wheels if I were to buy this. Again, the tail lamps also look like a miniature version of the Tata Nexon. It looks really impressive. You've got sensors, you've got camera on the top end variant. That's how the Punch nomenclature is spelled here. That's the boot. It's a very big boot. It almost feels like a car of a sub 4 meter size with this with the kind of boot space that is on offer. The numbers may not be that big, but it's very accommodating. It's got a huge area to keep a lot of stuff. There is hardly any protrusion, so it's going to be great to put a lot of stuff here. Build quality feels very solid for a car of this, and as you can see, there are Easter eggs on all the corners of the car. You've got these very good, well integrated rear door handles, and let's sit behind my driving position. And as you can see, good knee room, very good leg room. Headroom is also in abundance. You've got a completely flat floor, so you can get somebody to sit here for you. And let's do that. As you can see, I think somebody smaller frame, unlike me, can fit here quite well. This seat is pushed all the way back, and there is still a good amount of space, and I think that's fantastic. Tata knows clearly how to squeeze space out of any car segment, and they've done that with the Punch as well. You've got these very nice door pads which are very accommodating. As you can see, it can hold a bottle. No third headrest, but here is an armrest without cup holders. And we are already a fan of the grey color that Tata is using for their interiors. It's been doing really well for them, and they've continued with that with subtle changes here and there. Keyless entry and go, push button start, eco and power, city mode, no power, no sport mode. Those are the dials, and we've seen them in previous Tata cars as well. You can control everything via from here, and you've got distance to empty, instant fuel economy. That's the trip meter, 2 trip meters, and that's the power and eco mode. Torque, you can see how much is being used while being revved. Steering mounted controls, automatic wipers, automatic lights, same stocks, and I still feel that they are slightly behind than they should be. The screen, typical Tata screen, as you can always see, but there are no physical buttons to control anything. Everything has to be done from the screen or from the steering mounted controls. These are the controls for the AC. You have a USB port, you have a 12 volt socket, and you have a 12 volt socket here as well. And as you can see, you can keep some stuff here. Let's talk about this. Is my absolute favorite part. The elements here used on the dashboard are fantastic. Plastics on the top are really good. This sort of table finish and table inspired sort of element that is on the dashboard looks fantastic. So does this one. Both of them, this is very soft, very nice. It's smooth. This is a very hard texture, but it doesn't feel cheap. It's very hard, but yet it doesn't feel very cheap. So Tata's done a fantastic job of somehow making it even more appealing. These two elements here on the dashboard, I don't know, and please don't kill me for this, but I think this is a bit of inspiration from the Land Rover Defender, and I think it looks fantastic. The cabin experience, I thought, should have been, the dashboard should have been different, but it's different in a very nice way. This surpasses my expectations quite easily. You've got tweeters and speakers, 6 of them, and the Harman system is fantastic as always for a segment of this size. Getting such a good sound system is really good. You've got steering controls like I told you, and there is cruise control, so that's also great. This steering also looks really impressive on the top end variant, and yeah, so it looks really impressive. The gear lever we're already aware of, and you've got some stuff to keep here. As you can see, that finish also lends itself here. You have to lock the doors with the door handle itself, a very trait from Ford cars. And those are the square vents. I really like them, how they've been integrated. That's the parking light button, and manual handbrake. Again, these seats, I think they lack a bit of under thigh support. They feel a little small, but this is a smaller car. Last time when I was a month ago with the Nexon, the seats were fantastic. They were slightly bigger. With this smaller car, the seats are slightly smaller, but there's a lot of space in the footwell area, and the dead pedal is humongous. It doesn't look and doesn't feel like an afterthought, so that's fantastic. You've got the Connect Next system here. It is the same what it is. It's become faster than the original version, and like I told you, the sound system is quite good. You've got to choose. You've got this new feature called Drive Next, which shows you all your aspects of driving, which is great. And you can choose personalized HDMI HMI doodle, so you can upload your own images as well. The AC works fantastic. Bluetooth connection was quite easy. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is here. What car 3 words is here, and yeah. Now let's jump to the driving part. So we are now out driving the Tata Punch with the 1.2 motor, which is the only motor available. We have driven the manual and we are driving the automatic since the entire day. And how is it like to drive? Well, this motor, we are well aware that we've seen it in the Ultras earlier. So that means that the 85 PS and 112 Newton meters from the naturally aspirated petrol engine made it to 5-speed AMT and 5-speed automatic AMT, and the 5-speed manual powers the front wheels, and the engine smooth, very refined, since the bonnet and the insulation is quite high and heavy. The noises inside the cabin are bare minimum, so refinement, just like any other petrol motor, is quite high. Of course, it's not dead silent as the Japanese, but this is pretty good for something that is coming from Tata Motors. The naturally aspirated motor also is very impressive. It's got a good amount of low end torque and good mid range. So it does 0 to 80, 0 to 100 in absolutely no time. It feels brisk in that aspect and in that particular part of the power plant. And after that, let's say 100 to 120 also feels good but not great. But very specifically after 120 kilometers an hour, the speed build up is quite slow, because of course it's an SUV, it's higher ground clearance, it's got a bigger height, and it may be lighter than the Ultras and shares the same engine, and it feels brisk most of the time, but it does run out of steam at top end, which it doesn't need to, because most of the time this car is going to go through city roads and very dense roads and very bad roads in cities like Bombay, Pune and other cities. This is where this car will excel, is the way it rides, because the ride and handling is spot on. The ride quality, despite being quite stiff, it's got that hint of compliance where ride quality is not bone jarring. It's actually quite good. It's compliant and it's very confidence inspiring. So that means that you can go over bad roads quite quickly and the car doesn't, take away the confidence from you. And so does the steering. The steering is light. It's precise. It doesn't have great feedback. It doesn't weigh up quite well on the highway, but it does the job of getting you in and out of traffic quite easily. There is no troubles whatsoever in that aspect. It's a very easy car to drive. The short wheelbase means that you can chuck this car from here to there, and we were actually quite surprised when we saw the car, and then we sat inside and then we experienced the ride quality, and then we turned into a corner and closed the gap in traffic, and then we realized that it does that quite quickly. So that is courtesy of the short length and the short wheelbase that the Punch has, which makes it very easy to drive in the city. Given the steering, the brakes and the clutch and the gearbox is very easy to use, it's going to be a very easy car to live with. NVH levels are also well contained. Of course, there's a bit of traffic noise coming in. My previous experience was with the Nexon, and it felt much more insulated. This does to a very large extent, but not entirely, of course, because it's a car that sits below the Nexon, and that's the reason why the windows are not that thick. But still a very easy car to drive. In terms of driving it on the highway, we had a short run on the expressway on the way to Pune from Bombay, and what we experienced is ride quality on the highway is also spot on. And what is also very impressive is the stability at 120 and 140 kilometers an hour on these restricted segments. It was quite appealing and quite solid. It was very confidence inspiring, and you can cruise all day long if you wanted to at 120 kilometers an hour, and this car would be absolutely great at it. There would be no faults whatsoever. It will be solid, comfortable and sturdy, and that will keep everything and everybody inside the cabin quite comfortable. The brakes also good. The pedal bite from Tata Motors in their cars is improving. It does feel like any other car from any other foreign manufacturer. So the pedal bite is getting there. It doesn't feel mushy or long travel or anything like that. It doesn't feel unpredictable like before. So you have to hand it to Tata that the gearbox quality and the pedal bite, which I was very specifically concerned every time I drove any of the Tata cars, that has been taken care of to a very large extent, and that actually promotes ease of driving and being comfortable in the car. I think that is it. That's what the Tata Punch is all about. It's a very nice city car. It's going to take bad roads really well. It's going to keep you comfortable on the highway, in the city. Of course, performance is going to be just about adequate or just above adequate. It's not a full-blown performance car, and there's no turbo motor yet, but we are kind of expecting it to come sometime soon. CNG variants and electric variants are also on their way, if we are to believe certain news that is being roaming around on the internet. And the Punch has a lot of things going for it. It's got a great design, fantastic interior. It's going to quite clearly score very high on safety, so that is going to be one of the best selling points. It's going to be easy to drive. It's going to be easy to live with in the city. It's going to take bad roads really well. So this is going to be the perfect city car that you always wanted at a great price, because we know Tata is doing great pricing. We don't have the pricing now. The pricing will come on 20th October. This review is obviously coming out on the 9th of October, so you'll have to wait 10 days for the pricing. But given Tata's current pricing strategy for all its models, I think it's going to be fantastic, and this car is going to be a sucker punch for everybody else in this segment, a segment below, and maybe a segment above as well, because it's got everything you would need from an everyday city car. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure you like it, share it. Still have some questions, put them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time in another video. Until then, goodbye.